So this is my latest Harley Quinn cosplay, and it is from the Assault on Arkham cartoon.
To start off with the shirt, I'm using the Yaya Hans bodysuit pattern, and I'm only using the top section, and I just placed the pattern pieces on the individual pieces of red or black, whether it was the right or the left side of the top. Don't worry about the bottom section of the top being even. We're going to trim it later when we put it on to make sure it's all straight. So once you have all the pieces cut out, go ahead and sew this entire shirt together. So starting with that metal seam, go ahead and connect the tops to the bottoms, then sew the entire front together, the entire back together, and then sew the front and the back together. So once I tried the shirt on, I just started to adjust it. So I put little pins where I want to cut the armholes bigger, the neck hole bigger, and I also put pins down my waist where I wanted the bottom of the shirt to be cut off even. To finish off the shirt, you're going to want to put bias tape around the bottom and the armholes. Don't worry about the neck, the collar covers it up. So what you're going to do is just pretty much cut a strip of fabric, right sides together, sew the edge shut, and then roll the fabric back over and under the shirt, and then top stitch that down in place. On to making the leggings. I pretty much cut one side of the legging in each black and red fabric, and then that little diamond piece is for the crotch area of the leggings, just to make it more easy to move and more comfortable. You don't have to add that piece, but I like to in my leggings. I'm also using the same material of the leggings to make the hood, so go ahead and cut out all the pieces of your pattern. And you can either purchase a pattern or make a pattern yourself, but make sure you cut out one side of red and one side of black for both the leggings and the hood. To start your leggings, go ahead and lay both pieces of fabric right on top of each other, matching all the edges, and you're going to sew down the front and the back. And make sure you use a zigzag seam, as you will need this to stretch. Now make sure you cut up those two separate crotch pieces and sew it down the middle to make one side red and one side black to match your leggings. And go ahead and start to pin that to the middle seam of the leggings, and then continue to pin the leggings together down the side seams of the legs. And now I'm starting to pin the diamonds into place where I want them on my leggings. And as you can see, I didn't sew the leg completely shut, only at the top so I could fit it to myself. That way I can sew the diamonds into the leg without having any trouble. Using a zigzag stitch, go ahead and top stitch the diamonds down onto the legging. Make sure you go over an edge of the diamond and an edge of the fabric. Just kind of place that zigzag right on the edge and hold it down. Once the diamonds are attached, you can go ahead and sew up the remaining portion of the leg that you left open. And we're going to add a waistband with elastic. And using the same bias tape method as before, we're going to wrap the elastic in a bias tape to hide it. And now for the gloves, I pretty much just traced the outline of my hand with chalk on a black stretchy fabric, cut it out, and then sewed all the edges together, and I made myself a pretty simple glove. Harley also wears an armband in this costume, so I pretty much measured the length down one of my arms and cut out a rectangle of fabric in that length and sewed the one edge together, and that was it, an armband. I'm sorry I didn't film much of the collar, but I pretty much made a pattern just by laying tissue paper over my body and drawing on it. Once I had a pattern, I just cut out two sides in a stretchy black fabric. I put them right sides together, sewed them shut. I turned it right side out, and here I am top stitching it so it lays nicely.
I know I didn't film much of me making the collar. I'm kind of sorry about that. I was in a rush to get this finished before Kamikaze, but it was pretty easy to make, and I have a separate tutorial of my old Harley Quinn costume where I specifically did the collar in its own tutorial. So if you need any more help figuring out how to make the collar, because I didn't show you much in this video, you can go ahead and check my old video out, and I will put that link in the description below. And I did attach bells as the pom-poms on the collar, as well as on the hood horns.
For the belt, I used a piece of faux leather, and I couldn't find any in black, so I just bought a dark brown, and here I am painting it black with some fabric paint. Don't forget to paint both sides as well as the top and the bottom. If it's brown, you're going to be able to see it, so anywhere, paint it black. Harley also has a small bracelet on one hand, which I made the same way with painting the leather. I just didn't record it. For the little loop, I pretty much just glued it to the underside of the belt, and then I attached two hooks and eyes so I could attach it and take it on and off very easily. Now she has little diamonds all over her bracelet and on her belt, so I just cut up some strips of Worbla, heated them up, rolled them up, and started cutting them into little pieces. And then each of those little pieces I just hand shaped into a diamond. The smaller ones are for the bracelet, and the larger ones are going to be for the belt. The belt buckle is a piece of craft foam sandwiched in between two pieces of Worbla, and that's about it. It just needed to be really sturdy. So I'm priming all of the Worbla pieces with wood glue, so the belt buckle and the diamonds, and then I am going to spray paint them silver and then glue them to the belt or to the bracelet.
I don't remember why I didn't record me sewing this together. I guess I just forgot. Sorry. So if you can't tell, the hood is 4 different panels with these ear loopies on them. I made my own pattern for this hood. What I did was I draped tissue paper over my face and I taped it down with some painter's tape, and I drew on it with a marker like the shape that I needed it to be and where I wanted the seams to go down, and then I just slid the tissue paper off my hood and cut it up, and I just kind of adjusted it while sewing it, making it smaller in some sections. So that's how I made this pattern for the hood. I'm sure you can find one, but it probably won't match this exactly.
The mask is a piece of Worbla which I cut out and then heated it up and laid it on my face to get the shape. Again, I am priming this with wood glue and then spray painting it black. And with the finished hood, I pretty much ran strips of glue around the arches up top and put the hood and the mask on at the same time, held the glue tight until it dried, and I just glued the mask to the hood so it will stay in place.
And having the hood attached to the mask actually keeps the hood in place on my head. The gesticles, as you can see, there's nothing in them. What I did was I actually put my hair in buns and my hair filled up the gesticles, and I just let my hair and ponytails fill up these little empty little tubes. And then it secures with 2 snaps under my chin like that. And for security at the convention, I did add a little bit of spirit glue up here on my forehead for the Worbla and had it glued to my face so it wouldn't ride back. So that is my new hood, mask, costume, everything. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. And classic Harley will always be my favorite. I can't get away from it. But I really ended up liking wearing a different kind of Harley this time. Lastly, for those of you who don't join me on my Twitch live chats, I actually made a new hammer to go along with this costume. This is actually the hammer that she uses in the movie, colored this way. And I made the fake bomb to go in it, and it lights up and there's a clock in it and it's really cool. Unfortunately, I did not film a specific tutorial making this hammer. I pretty much made it the same way I made my other hammer, but I built this mainly on my live chat. So if you want to see how I did it, you can go ahead and look through those. So this is it for this tutorial. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to my channel for more cosplay awesome videos and prop things and just fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye. I feel like I should be wearing it. I'll wear the top. Bird, stop pulling off your tape. It's there for a reason.